Lastly, I have no idea how long this video is so far, so I'm just going to keep going. The last thing for chapter 9 are the mandatos. So the commands. Back in Spanish 121, we went over the commands, the affirmative and formal commands. So just telling somebody in the to form, do it, clean your room, eat your dinner, do your homework. Chapter 9 goes through how to make mandatos in both the affirmative and the negative form. So telling somebody do it, telling somebody don't do it. And then they also address the fact that in Spanish, if you're speaking to somebody in the to form, there's a certain formula for the command, and in the usted form, there's a certain formula for the command. So if you're making a negative to command, well, let me go back 1 second. If you're making a positive or an affirmative to command, you take the to form of the verb and drop the S. So hablar or hablar would be habla. Comer would be come. Bailar would be baila. And then I have my irregulars here. Bendice al asten ve ponce. Bendice al asten ve ponce. To make a negative to command, you take the opposite ending and keep the S. So for an AR verb, you add es. And for an ER or IR verb, you add as. So hablar would be no hables. Bailar would be no bailes. Saltar would be no saltes. In ER IR verb, you add as. So no escribas, no bebas, no comas. Okay. For usted commands, you just take the opposite ending, but you drop the S. So for AR or AR verbs, for AR verbs, you add e or e. For ER and IR verbs, you add a. So cante, sing would be cantar, cante. Dance, bailar would be baile. Escribir would be escriba. And then the negatives are the same. You just put no before it. So no cante, no baile, no escriba. So what I made here is a little chart that will tell you what kind of ending to add to an AR verb or an ER-IR verb when you're making it into a command, affirmative or negative in the to form, and an affirmative or negative in the usted form. If you like charts, here you go. You do need to memorize the endings. So what I found was a little bit easier than memorizing a chart was just memorizing the rules. I would say them in my head. Okay, affirmative is take the to form, drop the S. Negative to is opposite ending, keep the S. Usted form is opposite ending, drop the S. However you want to commit these endings to memory. I know that, you know, it's Spanish and we've learned a million different endings for all different kinds of situations. These are just kind of another set of endings you have to remember to slap on the end of a verb to make it into a command. So all you have to do for this is these people have problems. You need to tell them what to do in a command form. So if it says, tengo muchas ganas de comer comida china, you have to say, well, eat Chinese food, come comida china, or coma comida china, or no comas comida china, or no coma comida china. So the affirmative to, affirmative usted, the negative to, the negative usted. And so just go through these and tell these people what to do in the to commands and the usted commands, and you can decide if you want them do it or don't do it. But if you're going to make a negative command, make sure you put the no before it, so I know that you're trying to make a negative command. Phew. Okay, I'm gonna call it quits. I truly hope that this video is enough of an explanation, and it is short enough to fit in the Flipgrid. So please, please, please just email me if you have any questions. I can slow down and go through it a little bit more in depth if you need. Adios.